resources wisely and well, to represent all members of our community fairly, to make decisions, promote the common good. We recognize our responsibility to the past and to the future, and the rights and needs of both individuals and community. As trusted servants, we seek blessings on our deliberations and on our efforts here today. May we act wisely and well. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your coat fell on the floor.
Okay, once again, welcome everyone to the April 5th meeting of the Mount Healthy City Council. Ready?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo?
Here.
Mr. Parsons?
Here.
Mr. Redding?
Here.
Mrs. Dosa?
Here.
Mr. George? Mr. Mueller?
Here.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Okay, Mr. George is absent. Does anybody care to excuse him from the meeting?
I'll make a motion to excuse Mr. George.
Okay, we have a motion to excuse Mr. George by Mr. Mueller. Do I have a second?
I second.
Ms. Dosa, second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. You have before you the minutes from the March 15th meeting. Any corrections?
The last page under new business, Mr. Coker with have. I believe that's supposed to be will have. Third sentence down from the top, under new business.
By the way, their neighbor was very happy about the sign. He's now conducting classes to teach deer how
Are
to read.
are they crossing right there?
Yeah. Well, he's been teaching them how to read.
Is it up now?
Yeah,
Nice.
sign language. Any other corrections? And I would ask for a motion to adopt as corrected.
Make a motion to adopt the minutes as corrected.
Okay, Mr. Matt Redding has made a motion to adopt. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Parsons? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence. I have no new correspondence. You do have a picture on your desk, though, of a little racetrack. Guest and special events, we have none. Is that correct? Public input. Anybody here who would like to address council?
Go ahead, you read first.
David Osterbeck, 7429 South Place. And I'm here with this issue with a neighbor to the north side of me, 7441 Wet Lake. I did email Mr. Coker over the weekend, and he emailed me back at Sunday night either way, read through it, got it outlined. If you like it, then line by line of why this should not be a property.
Hey, Dave. I mean, you sent this to me Sunday night. All right. I've met with my staff today. We're working on it. I mean, I wish you'd give me an opportunity to prepare, because I'm not going to be able to answer any of your questions tonight.
No, I appreciate that, and I'm not expecting it to have been resolved in the last 40 hours.
I mean, I just wish you would give me an opportunity to, because there's your side of the story, there's this, I'm trying to gather all the information, right? And I'll work with our staff, and we've responded to every email. You said I responded Sunday night. I met with staff today. He's given me information. You know, I've shared your information with him. I mean, I just think it would be fair to at least let me look into it, because, you know, and then we can address it. And then if you don't like what I say or what we come up with, then it'd be a great opportunity to come in and vet this with council. I mean, unless council wants to listen to this, but I mean, I just wish that, I mean, I just found out about this. I mean, I spent a lot of time today. We've reached out to the person you're talking to. We're gathering information. I don't know where we stand, you know, and so that's all I'm saying.
I can appreciate that, and he told me that, you know, Mr. Knight did address it one time a couple of weeks ago, and, you know, the response, the neighbor shared with me was strange, and the response was he didn't have a vehicle over one time. Well, that's only an act. I can tell you that.
Well, again, I mean, and again, I know, I did, I mean, we're looking into this, all right? We met with the property owner today. We're gonna follow up again, but, you know, anyway, that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm not here to say you're not doing it.
I understand that. I just think it's, you know, when you come to somebody and ask them to do something, it's only fair to give me that opportunity to do it before you come in here in a public setting and vet what your concerns are. If what I respond back to you isn't fair, or you don't like it, or you don't believe it, or whatever, then I 100% I agree this is the time to do it. I just think we're way in front of, you know, getting the cart in front of the horse, is my only thought. So it's up to council. He can continue, but it's just,
Yeah,
you know.
we would just tell Mr. Coker to look into it and take care of it for now.
I can appreciate
But-
that. I'm not trying to put cart in front of horse.
Oh, no, I appreciate.
I did email you, and I said I was gonna come up here, so it's.
And believe me, I know government moves very slowly with the roads, with anything, but we do get things done, and it'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
No, this is important, and I mean, I've talked to the mayor about it, and I've responded, and we met on it, and I'm just trying to gather all the information before we can determine what can be done, you know, I mean, so, that's all I ask, so.
I appreciate you coming up, though. Definitely.
That's it.
I'm working on it, man. Yeah, and I'll get back to you guys, and then if you don't like it, come in here and they can chew me out, that's fine.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to address council? Okay, we need your name and address, please.
Jamie Barnett, I live at 7330 Mission Street. I asked, someone on the Let's Get Trash Facebook page not too long ago, about cleanup in the Mount Healthy Heritage Park. And, they organized a group and got it all cleaned up. It was really nice, and I thought it would be a good program to have in the city of Mount Healthy for a beautification yard program, like a monthly yard of the month, or have different categories, like naturescape yard of the month, pollinator yard of the month, something to encourage members of Mount Healthy to keep their yards looking nice. There's a lot of trash in our streets, and it'd be great if we could get rid of that.
Are you volunteering, Jamie?
I think we did that one time, gave out awards.
I'm volunteering to lead the team, but I'm not doing all the work myself.
Well, no, that's
I agree.
absolutely true. You can't.
Block captains are a good idea, I think, somebody to lead the block. You could even do just the block award on your block, versus having it citywide, that maybe we could pay maybe more, just an idea.
Okay, May I ask, did the beautification committee used to do something
We
along
did
that
do
lines?
something like that one time.
I think recent, you guys
Yeah.
did something like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but we did do that.
Participation, but there was 17 people that showed up for that cleanup at Heritage Park, so
Yeah.
I would have to say there's a lot of participants.
We usually coordinate it with cleanup, you know how they have Cleanup America
yep.
in the spring? We usually do that for Mount Healthy too at that time. But
Well, incentive for people to be more important.
Be a great program to head up, Jamie.
I would like to offer, we have a We Thrive committee through Hamilton County Public Health. It meets once a month, and it's made up of residents and other stakeholders in the community. We meet at Teakin Farm we're gonna be meeting on the third Tuesday of the month at 5 o'clock. So before our second council meeting. Do you know where Teakin Farm is? On Elizabeth Street, in the north end. So it's at 5 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. I think I saw your post on next door, so I can reply on that. But the way it's mostly comprised now is people that have interests like yours, that have different programs that involve community health, and I think trash pickup or yard beautification would fit right in. Basically, we report each month and kind of say what each group's goals are and what they need help in, and then the We Thrive group will help publicize it, help recruit volunteers, et cetera. It's really a great place to connect. So you could find some other people, some resources. There's also funding that could be available for the program, whether it's for prizes, whether it's for gloves and bags for cleanup, et cetera. So I would love to invite you to that. So the next one is May 17th. May 17th.
Should be April, isn't it, Mayor?
I'm sorry, yes.
Be the-
Sorry, there's
what,
one.
2 week, the 19th, correct?
Thank you. April
Yeah.
19th, yep.
That'd be a good thing for you to attend, I think. I agree with the mayor, yeah.
Yeah, and you already have a built-in group there with social media presence and everything else. Thank you, I
you.
appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anybody else like to address city council tonight? Just come on up to the microphone and give us your name and address, please.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Dan Oliver. I am in several businesses in Mississippi, but I currently, you know, the most recent one is the Steak and Sports Bar Grill. Over at the place.
Okay.
So, want to address, council, introduce myself, because I've had businesses in Mount Healthy for quite some time now. And with the new bar grill, we're doing some things, we want to do some things in the community, to kind of give back. So I wanted to get with you guys on social media platforms as well as, being in kind of the news release for Mount Healthy. Because we're giving away 3 scholarships for $2,000 to kids who are in Mount Healthy, who live in Mount Healthy. They just have to apply for the scholarship, as well as for Easter, we're doing, bounce houses outside for the kids. And, we're doing, 2 Mount Healthy days at the, Bar and Grill on the June 17th and December 17th of the year, which will be anyone who comes in with ID with, Mount Healthy zip code, gets 50% off, the food. So, we definitely want to, give back to the community, be more of a filler in the community for the kids as well as, people who live in the community as well.
That's great.
If anybody has any concerns or, questions about the business or, you know, ideas or thoughts, you know, I'm easy to talk to. Come see me or come to the restaurant or whatever.
That's great. I got to ask you one question, though, Dan. Address.
8021 Hamilton Avenue.
8021 Hamilton. Well, what you're talking about seems very interesting and a positive thing to do for the community.
So we do have a city Facebook page, and I have a Facebook page as mayor. If you share any events, we'll always share things for different businesses, different community events. So feel free to push things to us, and we'll help push them out.
Okay, is that for like, for scholarship for the kids?
Mhm.
Who would I go through to get that kind of like, for the, people in the community, you know, they apply, you know, for the kids going to college, so. All that to do is like, send me like an essay and we'll review it and we're giving away 3 scholarships.
I mean, again, I think if you just share the information, we would just share that information for you, that you would, that would really come back to you, but the information you give us, just so we can share it.
Yeah. Great. Can
That's
I,
great.
can I just ask a
Anybody have any
question? What other
questions?
businesses do you have?
I have the office suites.
Oh, okay.
7605 and 7613 Compton Avenue. So, two office buildings there. One holds 15 suites, the other holds 10 suites. So, about 25 different businesses in those suites, anywhere from like a tattoo parlor to boutiques to hair salon, stuff like that. And just some people just got general offices.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, like the idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for stopping up, Dan.
Oh, yeah, I definitely want to stop by.
Thank you for having a business in Mount Healthy, too.
Yes.
Yes.
We need businesses in Mount Healthy.
Anybody else would like to address council? Okay, great. We're going to move on then to the mayor's report. Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, just three things. First one, Bill and I and Denise attended the ribbon cutting for the new Wi-Fi program that's been worked on for quite a while. It was great. Lieutenant Governor Husted was down here for it. It was quite the event. It
It was nice.
was nicer than I expected it to be, so
In
got
fact,
some good
Governor.
press. I didn't see
Yeah, I didn't see a
as
whole
much as
lot.
I was hoping, but
Right. The biggest thing that came of it is the president of Alta Fiber promoted Jamie to
Yeah.
the
Governor.
Yeah.
as he introduced him as governor.
Governor.
that was interesting.
Look on,
I said I didn't want it. Just for the record.
I was going to say, congrats are in order for the new position.
No. But just to update on that, so Clovernut, well, let me go through the ones that are currently active. So Lake of the Woods Apartments, the Park and Bernie View Apartments, which are the ones down Seward, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, attached to the other senior home down there. Those are currently active, so there's free Wi-Fi down there right now, provided through the city and then splash page through the school district. It is going to be added within the next month to Compton Lake Apartments, Clovernook Apartments, and the entire business district from like the Dairy Bar to Speedway.
So is it gonna be like when you go to normal businesses like Panera, where they say the password for the Wi-Fi is blah, 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 blah? Will that be out for the public?
There will be a login splash page. You just have to go through that splash page. I think, I've been some places like downtown and on the metro where that happens, where there's not necessarily a password, there's a splash page that you accept, and the splash page will be the school district. So we actually looked into this about 15, 16 years ago when I first got on council. And the stumbling block we had back then is we couldn't get a corporate sponsor. You have to have somebody to pay for the monthly bill, and we couldn't get anyone to do the splash page. The school district is funding that expense now. So the splash page will come from the school district. And the reason it works for them, became really apparent during COVID lockdowns, a lot of the kids don't have Wi-Fi. Well, the district has fundings to bridge that gap, and they were providing hotspots for individual kids' apartments and homes. But with how transient our population is, kids move and they disappear, or you don't know where they went. It was honestly kind of a nightmare. So by getting the entire apartment complexes to have free Wi-Fi access, they no longer have to go in and do individual hotspots. So it actually is it was a cost savings measure for them, or at least pretty much an even wash without losing the hotspots that they were providing. So, as you know, we had money come through us, grant money, the county, the state, there was federal funds that came through. It was really everybody on board for it. So it's pretty amazing what's being done. The school district was hoping to get more areas within the school district, and they've had a harder time getting Colerain and Springfield Township on board with it. So it's been great. This is one thing we've been able to collaborate on. It'd be nice when you're up at the park at swim lessons, you can log into Wi-Fi with you.
Yeah.
You still have a little one, you'll be up there. And then secondly, another event is on the 16th, so the night before Easter, there is a poetry open mic up at Square Mile. Square Mile's been doing these time to time. It'll be from 6 to 9 p.m. I'm gonna go to this one, especially there is a student named Cameron Garing who actually finished second in the state for the Ohio Poetry Out Loud competition. So I'm going to recognize him that night up there. there's a big poetry program going on at the high school through Elements, which is, it started off as a hip-hop nonprofit downtown, and it's expanded to all kinds of written, creative writing to poetry, et cetera, and they're working on our schools now. They're also working with Teakin Farm. So there's a real collaborative effort through nonprofits and through the schools, and now Square Mile is hosting them as well. So that'll be Saturday night, the 16th from 6 to 9. And then lastly, I guess we will have a meeting before then, but just want to remind you, the farmers market starts up again next month in May. It'll be the first Sunday of every month. This year it will be from 12 to 3. They're pushing it back later in the day. They think it makes more sense. A lot of people going to church, they can come afterwards. Additionally, that'll be within their normal operating hours, which will make it easier for their staff. So 12 to 3, the first Sunday of the month, May through November. So get that on your calendars. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Questions for the mayor? Okay, we're going to move on then. City Manager's Report, Mr. Coker.
Thanks, Ross. So, update with the fire department, we were able to hire 3 people. That's what ended up being the vacancies that we had to fill. Thought it was gonna be 4, but the person stayed on board, so, we were able to hire all 3 of them. Kind of good news, bad news, 2 of them were part-timers, so we gotta fill those slots. But that's good because they're familiar and they'll be able to transition. 1 outside hire, one of them in medic school, that will finish in the fall, and then 2 starting in the fall. So we currently have the 4 medics on that we have. We'll have a 5th coming on in the fall, and then the 2 will start in the fall process. So, and we still have, I think, a spattering of some medics that are even part-time. Some, I don't know where that count is now. So anyway, that was good that we got that done and back up to full capacity there. Also, some good news on the ambulance is that the chassis has been built, and they're hoping delivery is going to be in the next week or so to the chassis, and then the chassis then will be taken up to the ambulance box manufacturer, and that's about a 6-month process. So we're hoping maybe, late May, early June, have it delivered, which is a little better than what was anticipated back in October when we were going through this process of getting it purchased. So that's some good news. A couple of, I'll save the Hamilton Avenue one for last because that's going to be a little bit of a discussion. But we did get Ray's job posted, and Ray's still planning on retiring October 1st. But I think the more we can get overlapping there would be great. So we're accepting applications, I think, through May 6th for that position. And that way that will give plenty of time to bring him up to speed, or him or her up to speed on with Ray. So that's moving forward. And then we did finally get from SORTA the process for the funding for the street. It's a reimbursement process, so we'll have to outlay that money and get it back. Our finances are strong right now. That's not going to be an issue. But that's a little different than what we do now. And I got a whole packet today I'm going to share with Melanie and Scott. But with that being said, JMA is full steam ahead now with that, hoping to get it bid out in June, July timeframe, and get it awarded. It'll probably be a similar type of project where we'll get it, everything done but the finish coat, hopefully by year end, and then finish it up. Once we sign the contract with them, they want us to have it. Well, the wording is have the contract started within the year, but we'll get moving well before that. So that took us a while to get that information, but it's finally come in, so that's good.
Bill, is that for Compton?
For Compton.
Okay, thank you.
From Compton, yeah, from Hamilton to the Corp line.
Okay, great.
Do we have a start date on that potentially?
No, I said we're gonna bid it,
You didn't, okay.
yeah, in June or July.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then,
June, Sorry.
yeah, so.
Sooner the better.
Yep.
Hey, the last meeting, right, last meeting, we weren't even
didn't
gonna get
even
this
know,
project.
yes.
We didn't even know we were getting the funding, right? So now we know we got the funding, we're hopefully, moving on. They were out surveying today, so they are definitely moving on it, so, so yes.
You can tell who lives on Compton Road, can't you?
So that's that. So Hamilton Avenue finally went out to bid on Thursday. And probably not surprising, it came in over the estimates. Number one, because of petroleum costs. But there were other things, and the short part of this conversation is, in order for them to proceed, we need to cough up another $83,000. We've already coughed up $80,000. This project's, over probably approaching $1.3 million or so. So the fact that we've only putting up 160, again, that we have to put this money up. There's a potential we can get this reimbursed, right? Because some of the overages on this were the big one was the pavement repair, or what they call full depth repair. And that's always an unknown, until they grind off the street and they start to look at spots. That's always an unknown factor in a project. They put an estimate in there for it, and the contract came in, the low bidder, who is John Jurgensen, came in a lot higher. So they're looking for us. So hopefully that's where it all sits, right? If there's not as much full depth repair, or it's less than what was estimated, hopefully we can get that money back. But the other big driver in it was the pavement cost itself, because of the petroleum piece of it. So, they want to know by tomorrow if we're okay with that. I sent out that email last week to kind of prep you guys on this a little bit, knowing that this discussion was coming. Unfortunately, I don't think we have, we can't, we've coupled so much funding with this between their piece, because again, this project, just as a quick reminder, really, in their eyes, it's a grind and overlay, which they pay 80% of. A grind and overlay is just grinding off blacktop, right? But we know that there's other stuff that we need to address, curb ramps, any concrete work, any full depth repair, any of that stuff, that's 100% on us. So that's how it's broken out differently than that. But we've got the skip funding and other fundings to cover most of that cost. This is just now coupled up to about 80,000. It's been a long time, though. We paid some money for the expansion of Hamilton there in front of kind of where they put the turn lane in at Speedway, and then in Kemper. And that was the last time we had to do this with this. And once the final project's done, which that could be a year and a half, 2 years from now, is then we'll settle up and hopefully we can get some of this money back. So the last piece of that is the contract states that they could begin May 1st. They have to be completed by October 1st, and they have to complete it within 90 days. So there's a little bit of a moving thing. If they start May 1st, then they have to be done end of May, June, July. So that so they have to be done around the 1st of August. If they start July 1st, then they can go into September. So it's kind of a moving target. I'm sure they do that just for flexibility to make the bid more attractive for somebody to go at. So anyway, any questions?
Are we okay financially to do this?
Yeah.
Do we have the money to?
Oh yeah.
With no worries? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't know, Bob. We've always had money, but
We've got a lot of money in the
CIP.
road fund.
Mhm.
And if they keep nickel and diming and $80,000 us to death.
Yeah, I know.
But I hope this is the last time.
Yeah, we in our street levy fund, we've carried a nice, healthy, kind of for some of these things. There's always a project where we have to pay for some, we typically it's hard to get funding for engineering, so we always usually have that on the hook. Sometimes we can get that funded into a 0% loan. There's different ways we do it, but we have enough money to cover in our CIP. I think no problem.
We were looking at $600,000 we were gonna pay.
Mhm.
So if we
Right.
pay 150, 160,000, we're,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
doing
we're
pretty
still
good.
good. We're
Yeah,
still
with the
way ahead.
potential of some of that getting back to us would be a great
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So do we just want to, you guys want to do a motion to just authorize me to move forward? It's the exact amount is $83,302 is what they're looking for in a check, and I'm sure they're gonna ask Melanie if they can pick it up at noon tomorrow.
We'll be right down.
I'll pull them off of that cent for a while, but yeah,
See how I added 3,000 to nickel and dime it on you?
83,302.
I would ask for a motion to give Mr. Coker the go-ahead to get this issued. You can't give up over $1 million worth of grant money for $80,000, so.
And it needs to be done right, too. I mean, we need to fix what's there.
Jurgensen's a very reputable
Yeah,
uh,
I agree.
company, so.
Anyway, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we authorize Mr. Coker to go forward and spend another $83,302 to get the Hamilton Avenue project moving.
Okay, Mr. Parsons has made a motion. Mr.
Second.
Redding has seconded. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying, do we need roll call or a roll call on that?
I think I
Okay.
don't think we need roll call.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Unless we had opposition, and then you'd have to count it out,
Yeah.
but then, yeah, so.
Unanimously, it is passed.
Yeah. And then just the last thing, Greg, they're starting to work on the project down there, and, they're excited to get it going. I think where you see the white lines, you'll see is where the corrugated tubing will go, and I think they've gotten some fill dirt from North College Hill. So yeah, it's coming together. They're excited. That's all I have tonight.
Okay,
Oh,
thank you.
last thing is, sorry, last minute, and all I'm gonna ask, I got a text at 6:24, thank you, Melanie. These were finally resolved, we can just take a first reading tonight and hopefully pass them at the next meeting. I said I'm not gonna throw this on them at quarter till here, but Melanie put those together. These are just the other two settlements for the liquor license for Take a Shot and Vince's. And you can see the attachment on each for what was agreed upon there. And so if we could take a first reading on that, it'd be awesome.
Okay. We're going to move on then to ordinances and resolutions. We have no second reading on an ordinance, but we do have a second reading on a resolution. That is resolution number 21-1179.
22.
20, what did I say?
20,
Oh.
yeah,
22-1179. A resolution adopting additional city employee policy regarding COBRA. You want to touch on this, Bill?
Yeah, we've just discussed this. This will just help for a person that happens to pass away while employed to help the spouse cover COBRA for 12 months.
Yeah, I remember the discussion from a couple of weeks ago. I just wanted to make sure. Discussion, questions?
Seems pretty straightforward.
I make a
Denise.
motion to adopt resolution 22-1179.
Ms. Lingo has made a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Mueller has seconded. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Lingo? Mr. Parsons?
Aye.
Mr. Redding?
Aye.
Mrs. Dosa?
Aye.
Mr. George? Mr. Mueller?
Aye.
Mr. Young?
Aye.
Okay, by a vote of 6-0, resolution number 22-1179 is adopted. Okay, the next resolution, 22-1181. This is a resolution approving participation in Region 2 of the governance structure under the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding. Mr. Coker?
I mean, it's, honestly, this was something Scott put away when I was out. Oh, yeah, so this is a follow-up from a resolution that we passed, gosh, it's almost been at least a year ago, or if not more, just on the settlement with the opioid cases throughout and again, I'm sure, Scott's just requested that we pass this, just so that we can keep our place in line for any funding that's available.
Any questions, council?
Just got a deadline on it?
Usually when Scott gives me something, it was yesterday, but he's not even here to defend himself, which isn't fair.
It's not, he doesn't have it marked as an emergency either.
We can take a first reading on it. I don't see
Okay.
any kind of urgency within it.
First reading, council? Okay.
Yeah.
Next resolution, resolution number 21-1182.
Should that be 22?
Yes, it should.
Yeah,
And I marked 20.
22.
I read it right this time.
Yes, you did.
22-1182.
22. I don't know why I wrote 20.
An emergency resolution withdrawing the city's objections to the renewal of the liquor control license for the business located at 7701 Hamilton Avenue, DBA Vince's Other Place LLC, and authorize an execution of the settlement agreement. I think everybody's familiar with this.
Did this settlement come along pretty quickly, recently?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, after we got the one with urgency was the Reminisce, because it was actually scheduled, but once we got that one settled, then they've been going back and forth with this, and yeah, Scott, actually today, I think I got it at about, grabbing something to eat at like 5, and then he texted me at 6:24, so this one isn't as, I think is more of a, I don't think there's as many requirements as the last one with Reminisce, but I think it gets all parties on the same page. Things have been pretty quiet in both those locations since we've started this whole process, which is kind of is a good thing as well, and that's part of the reason why I think we're willing to, let's move on from this.
Police department's on board?
Yeah, yep. We can take a first reading tonight.
Any questions, council? First reading, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, going to move on. Resolution number 22-1183. An emergency resolution withdrawing the city's objections to the renewal of the liquor control license for the business located at 1357 Compton Road, DBA Take a Shot Bar, LLC, and authorizing execution of the settlement agreement. Same type of thing. Well,
It's up to council, but yeah, that's fine.
first reading?
That's fine.
Is the agreement
Pretty,
same as the other one?
pretty much, yes. I mean, again, I read through it quickly, but
Yeah.
these two places fell in a similar type of situation versus Reminisce. So it's kind of train your employees, do these things, and we'll agree to this.
He worked with the liquor board to find specific trainings
Yep.
to share with them.
Yeah, the mayor, you would, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the bar owners reached out to you, and you were able to get it with Scott, and I saw the emails going back and forth with how to get some resolution to this.
We can look those over before the next meeting.
Okay, that's all the resolutions and ordinances. We'll move on to old business.
I don't know if this falls on, the event schedule, the concert schedule? Is there a date set for National Night Out, the PD? Is that the 16th of August? There's no date for that night. Is that to be determined?
Probably to be determined.
Okay,
I think
that's fine.
it's always around the first of August. Usually the first Tuesday, usually because we've coincided with council meetings, but I don't know if Ray didn't have an exact date on there and just kind of
Okay.
put that as a placeholder.
That's fine, that's
Yep.
fine.
I know Ray's pretty excited about this schedule, and it looks
That's
real
what
good.
I was gonna thank him for doing such a great job again this year on this, got this all scheduled ahead of time. Great job.
Any other old business, council?
I actually have one thing. I forgot to mention it, with the RC track, Mr. Mueller was at the We Thrive meeting with me last week, right?
Yeah.
And the We Thrive committee has agreed to donate $500 towards construction of the track, and the committee was, I was impressed at how excited they were about it. They've actually
Yeah, I was too.
offered future conversation. They brought up the idea, and I've already talked to the guys about it, having an event when it opens up and inviting the hobby shops from around the tri-state and having maybe a tournament. And the We Thrive committee was interested in purchasing an expensive RC to raffle off, and the money could go back towards this. So they also offered the suggestion if someone to form an RC club, they could do it under the We Thrive umbrella, so they don't have to form their own nonprofit. They'd already have a funding mechanism. So I was really surprised how far they ran with it.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mueller and I will be working with them. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I'm really excited for it. I think it'll be great, really.
Is there any kind of target date for that, May or June, or?
Nothing yet, no.
Not I'm aware of yet.
Yeah. Just
a
get,
few
kinda get,
months?
go ahead.
Few months?
Yeah, I would say, probably sometime in the summer, I would say. We'll have a couple meetings, We
You-
Thrive and see
Are
what's
you
going
talking
on.
about the completion of this?
The completion of the.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if that, yeah, I mean, they
Yeah, I
started
don't-
on it today, and of course, it started raining on them.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, but they've got a lot of things lined up, and, you know, it'll be just mainly juggling with their other responsibilities, so.
I don't know, Greg sent an email, he hauled about 4 tons, or was it 4 loads or something? Something like that, of dirt over there. I guess this is the progress so far, but, I would say, I don't think it'll be very much longer.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
I
say
don't-
they wanna get it up and going, May, June, something like that, I would
Yeah.
think.
And I think it'll be, you know, be a work in progress. I think they'll do some things and then add some things and, you know, maybe
Yeah.
feel
It
out how it
won't be
works.
long to be cutting grass.
Right, no doubt.
Okay, old business council. Then we'll move on to new business. Anybody have new business? Mr.
I
Wolf?
have one thing. Cordell's not here, but I want to congratulate his wife, just got the head basketball coaching job at Hamilton High School.
Oh, nice.
So when he comes back, I'll congratulate
It's
him.
exciting. I'm going to,
Her name's
sound like I
Sierra.
need it here.
Sorry, I should have
Is
said
this women's team, men's team?
that. Women's, yep. She's been coaching youth basketball for years, and it was just in the Enquirer today, I believe.
I saw it, I didn't,
Yeah.
she doesn't, last name isn't, George, right? Is it?
I think it is. Sierra
'Cause
George?
I wouldn't have, I didn't put 2 and 2 together because I read that article, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, super. New business. Ms. Lingo.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Ms. Lingo has made a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Mueller has seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.